A Martian vacuum leaves no margin for error. In the Aethelgard colony, every liter of oxygen is managed by a central digital mainframe that monitors 5,000 lives against the pressure of the planet outside. The system's algorithm maintains social order by rationing that air. While Biodome executives breathe a perfect 100% oxygen mixture, the workers 3 miles below in the Warrens have their supply throttled to 40% capacity. This restriction isn't a failure of the system, it's a calculated move to prioritize power for the industrial rock crushers. Elias Thorne is a Tier 1 atmospheric engineer caught between these two worlds. His son is in the dome, dependent on the scrubbed air for his failing lungs, but his wife is below, digging expansion trenches into the basalt crust of the Warrens. To reach his family, Elias has to break the colony's logic. But his digital access codes have been revoked, and the mainframe's encryption is impenetrable from the outside. Every digital system is tethered to a physical location. For the Aethelgard mainframe, that location is a cluster of high-density server racks on level 2 of the administrative spire. The colony's designers included a blunt physical failsafe in the hardware. It's a manual override built to ensure that if the computer ever loses power or crashes, the colony doesn't immediately suffocate in the silence. This diagram shows the mechanical default. In normal operation, the mainframe sends a signal to keep the life support valves partially closed. If the mainframe goes offline, that signal vanishes, and the valves are designed to mechanically spring to a 100% open position. This means the encryption on the software is irrelevant. If the temperature in the server room rises high enough to trip the internal breakers, the digital grip on the colony's lungs physically snaps open. Elias starts by blinding the system. He opens a digital sensor box in the boiler room and wires the data line into a physical loop. The mainframe continues to read a normal temperature, even as the physical pressure inside the boiler climbs toward a rupture. When the boiler finally fails, the resulting thermal alarm draws every security detail in the dome toward the fire. The digital monitors see a catastrophic explosion in the east, leaving the administrative spire unguarded. Elias avoids the biometric scanners at the main elevators. Instead, he uses a physical steel key to open a concrete maintenance hatch, dropping into the crawlspace directly beneath the server racks. The AI is designed to catch unauthorized code or forged biometrics. It has no protocol for a man with a pipe wrench moving through the foundation of the building. Processing the data for a world of 5,000 people generates massive thermal energy. The servers require a high-capacity liquid cooling loop to keep the silicon chips from melting under the load. Elias cuts the digital actuator wires and smashes the brass intake valve. The pressurized synthetic coolant drains onto the concrete, leaving the server racks with no way to shed heat. This graph tracks the runaway reaction. As the coolant vanishes, the temperature in the room spikes from 10 degrees to 95 degrees Celsius. At this threshold, processors reach their physical limit and safety breakers trip, forcing the mainframe offline. Without a digital signal to throttle the vents, life support valves mechanically lock open. For the first time, 100% oxygen flows into the deepest levels of the Warrens. By destroying a single cooling pipe, Elias forced the environmental grid into its fail-safe state. The automated labor quotas are dead, and the workers finally have the air to fight back. The algorithm is gone, but the conflict has moved to the physical relays. CEO Julian Vance has retreated to a hardened command bunker to manually force the valves shut before the workers can organize. In the Warrens, the laborers are no longer being tracked by their biometric bracelets. They are breathing full oxygen and moving toward the excavation equipment they've operated for years. Vance's bunker sits on a massive titanium foundation plate. The colony's blueprints assumed the bedrock beneath this plate was a solid, immobile slab, but the excavation work has changed the geography. Sarah Thorne's crew had been digging expansion trenches into this specific basalt shelf for weeks, eventually hitting a natural fault line located directly beneath the titanium plate. 3 days ago, her crew had already planted thermal charges to clear this rock. By repositioning 20 pounds of that industrial plasma gel into the fault line, the workers can channel a directional blast straight up, shattering the foundation of the bunker. The Aethelgard mainframe was designed to manage every variable on the planet, except for the people who maintain its physical existence. True power doesn't live in the code. It lives with the workers who control the pipes, the tools, and the rock beneath the dome.